God as it is reported in the New Testament in the 1 Corinthians chapter 13, a portion of the Apostle Paul's description of the characteristics and grandeur of love. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And even if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and even if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and even if I hand it over my body to be burned, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Faith, hope, and love abide. These three, and the greatest of these. For this celebration and blessing of the marriage of Spenser and Josh, I'd like to offer a brief reflection on what makes for a blessed marriage, a blessed union, a covenant relationship, a marriage entered into mutually, based on mutual love. 34 years ago, Spenser's parents, Mike and Charmin Norman, exchanged the same wedding vows that Spenser and Josh will share today. We remembered that today. And theirs has been 34 years of mutual love. And this is what Spenser and Josh enter into today. A marriage entered into mutually based on mutual love celebrates the courageous, hope-filled idea that the sum is greater than the whole of the parts. There is one person whole. There is another person whole. And then there are these two people, Josh and Spenser, this sum in love and loving in such a way as to transform one another and the world, which is what makes mutual love such a courageous and hope-filled act. In the New Testament book entitled Letter to the Hebrews, the author describes mutual love in a challenging way. Let mutual love continue. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing that, some have entertained angels without knowing it. Remember those who are imprisoned or marginalized in any way, as if you were imprisoned with them. Remember those who are suffering and outcast, those who are sick, those who are frail, as though it were you. Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. For God has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Mutual love and practicing the presence of God within the context of that mutual love is beautifully described as well in the book Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Lewis writes, love, as distinct from being in love, is not merely a feeling. It is a deep unity, maintained by the will and deliberately strengthened by habit, reinforced by the grace which both partners ask and receive from God. You two can have love for one another even at those times when you don't really like each other. Being in love was the explosion that started it, what first moved you to fidelity with one another. And now this quieter mutual love enables you to keep the promises you are going to make to one another today. may Spenser and Josh and all of us here in this afternoon seek to practice the presence of God by loving one another in such transformational ways that all are welcome, all are cared for,